Hello, everyone. You're there.
Hello.
I see you. I see you. Um, let's see.
You're in all these different places. It's funny to be in two different places at the same time.
No.
Even when we're at the same time. Hi.
We're so magical and amazing. How does it get any better than this? So Carla and I just finished our free gift called The Wow of You. It was
Yeah.
a fun call. My goodness. Wasn't it awesome?
Oh my God. So many great questions, and just like the energy just opened up so much more space for so many people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was so cool to really be in question and be willing to follow the energy of the call without having any expectations or projections or points of view about what we actually were going to cover in the call. And like there was just so much space to be and to play and to allow others
Wow.
to question.
Jinx, you owe me a Coke.
Yeah,
Oh,
how does
goodness.
it get any better than this? I get that I'm gonna do this because it's bumping a little bit.
Ah,
Um, better.
okay.
All right. So,
Ooh.
how about we talk about one of the questions from one of the participants in our call?
Yeah, we one of our participants asked about their greatness, like what is the wow of you? You know, she had been asking for her greatness to show up, and also without having the validation of this reality, other people, all the expectations, etc. Yeah.
Yeah,
So, and it was such a really cool space to get her, or allow her rather, to see where she was being in other someone else's reality instead of what she knew as true for her, and actually talk about that. So she was talking about being in a garden. You can talk about that a little bit.
well, before we get into that, I'm wondering for those of you that are watching now or this video in the future, like how many of you actually allow yourselves to gift you the acknowledgement of your greatness? And how many of you wait for the external validation of it? Wait for someone or something outside of you to gift it to you. So everywhere, like you are still waiting for someone or something outside of you to validate what is awesome about you, what is your magic, what are your miracles, what you are creating, and what you are contributing to the planet. Can you just let go of this? What other choices do you actually have available for you now that you have never ever acknowledged before? And is now the time to choose something different? What if you didn't have to wait for anyone or anything else outside of you to validate you and what you are
Fam-
creating in this planet?
Family, bosses, strangers. Yeah.
Yeah,
And what if
significant
you could?
others.
Yeah, the list goes on. Friends, friends. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. Thank you for asking that question. So, um, yeah, what would that be like to actually own and embrace and acknowledge the wow of you? And so, what's interesting is this person on the call was talking about how um, she gardens, and when she's in the garden, everything is more magnificent than it's ever been. There is lots of space, there's lots of ease, there is a beingness that goes beyond what she seemed to be able what she hasn't been able to access outside of the garden. Yeah. So we started having this conversation about, yeah, presence. And how, when you're present, what if your greatness is not this thing that someone else has defined? Are you still there? Move your head.
I am.
Really still. So how presence isn't this thing that you can always like put your finger on. Sorry, presence. I mean greatness. How greatness isn't this thing that you can put your finger on all the time. It's this being that you always have access to when you think you have access to it only in the garden. Instead, what if you actually have it everywhere?
Yeah, that was just
So,
a magical conversation.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Totally.
So it just opened up the space for her to acknowledge that she does have it. And so in this call, we're using the tools of access consciousness. And one of the tools is acknowledging how aware you are, which as a being, and um, you know, it's so funny in this reality, people talk about mirror neurons, like our ability to pick up on like how to survive or how to thrive or how things work in this reality. We just learn them, right? Like we see it and then we're like, oh, that's how this is done. There's that aspect. And then when you start going beyond this reality's conversation of what we actually have access to, if we stepped into consciousness, there's this space of awareness and of knowing beyond those mirror neurons and into the energy of everything. And so the
Yeah.
conversation went into actually her becoming aware of what other people think, what other people think she's supposed to be and she's supposed to do, and her taking that on.
Right. And what was
And not
really cool was also that there was a little part of her that was actually making her awareness wrong or judging it because
right.
it's like, it's too much. I don't want to hear this. I don't want to hear
I don't
what
want
they think or how they're judging me because then I have to change and I can't have my reality and I can't have my greatness. She wasn't saying this words. It was the energy that she was
well, no. She was
bringing.
saying I can't be this ease and this magic that I know I am in the garden out in the world.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah. And it's like, well, what if you can? And what if there's more available than you've ever even imagined or considered when you actually start to become aware of just how aware you are?
totally. And what if you can just ask one question when you become aware of anything? And that is this mine or someone else's? Who does this actually belong to? And if it's not yours, you don't have to choose it. It doesn't have to become part of your reality.
And weigh
So
you down and have you, whatever, depressed or anxious or whatever, all of those things that show up, that may show up. Yeah. And you get free.
totally. So for those of you that maybe you're like, darn it, I missed out. I didn't sign up for the free call. It's not too late. You can
Yeah.
find it in our links, in our bios, and you can receive the recording of it. And then also Carla and I are starting this program, the Wow of You, with 2 more calls that you can now register and receive and join us live and also have the recording. And they're happening in just a couple of days. So you actually didn't miss out on anything. And you can still choose them and you can still choose to be the acknowledgement for you and your greatness and your wowness. And what else?
All of you have access to every single aspect of you. And what else is possible with that that you've never even considered?
Yeah.
Yeah, that you can't even think about, you can't cognitize. What if there's something more for you available?
What if Would you be willing to be aware of it? And would you be willing to choose it? And would you be willing to have way more fun and too much fun without it? Yeah. How does it get any better than this?
Exactly, exactly. Well, I'm so glad that we jumped on here just to talk about this because I just thought it was an amazing opening for her and truly what else is possible and for everybody else on the call too. So yeah, please come join us. Please come play. We start on this Wednesday at noon.
Yep.
And yeah, you can find it in our links in the bios.
How does it get any better than this? Thank
How
you.
Bye.
Bye.